morning. This is going to be a quick energy check, okay? So, I'm going to keep it kind of dark because it's raining, storming here. Or it was anyway. Kind of passed over, but we're supposed to have storms most of the day, I think. So I'm going to jump right into the tarot. See what's going on. Some of you may need to protect your energy. There could be people trying to project onto you. So you might want to do some things to protect your energy, okay? What do we have today? And as always, use your own discernment. Please like or subscribe, drop a comment if you feel like it resonates. Two of Pentacles. Eeny, meeny, miny, mo. Is that how it goes? I mean, eventually you just take aim at one and hope it works out, right? Five of Cups, yeah. That's like not really working out. But they saw this mermaid on the shore and they were like, oh, I'm going after it, right? But yeah, it's sometimes not without heartache, right? When we go for things and just doesn't turn out. Three of Wands. Okay. I feel like this is potentially a separation reading for somebody. Like somebody took aim at you and it didn't quite work out, and yeah, but they're wanting to move towards you, okay? They might want to cook with you. Eight of Cups, the Pirate. In this heart shock right here, I feel like collective, you're kind of like, yeah, that's cute and all, but you know, nobody's getting away with my heart space this time, you know, in this Eight of Cups, because first off, you got to try and find me, right? You're like, yeah, you might be kind of like, I'll say not in this person's sights, you know, like they thought you would be. Ace of Cups, the giant whale. It's the strangest whale picture I've ever seen. Anyway, this is my Spirit Halloween deck, you guys. Ace of Cups again. Scorpio, Cancer, Pisces. So they have an outpouring of love and emotion. It feels like so big, like a whale, like they just have, you know, it's like that. They're just gonna start. It's like it's gonna spill out because it's just, yeah, it's a whale with a tail. Six of Pentacles. So, yeah, what happened basically? Too long, didn't read, right? Basically, they got into something and it didn't really turn out for them, right? Left them with some heartache. It wasn't giving, it wasn't reciprocal, it wasn't any of those things, you know? And this person may have been sapping their energy as well. And it's like they got caught up in like this web of like lies and, you know, deceit and all these other things that, like, quite honestly have been potentially giving this person like a hard time sleeping. It's been stressing them out and things like that. And again, this is why you're like off here sailing away on your pirate ship, right? Feeling the magical mystery tour, because you're like, I don't want any part of that drama. Yeah, the Tower. Look at that. So the Tower here may just be the realization for you without actually communicating to this person that this has all happened, right? Six of Swords. Yeah, you're okay again with getting away from that drama. And it even says Harpy on the on the bottom. And it's like this person, whoever they got involved with, could be like a super nag, okay? That's kind of their words. I mean, obviously I don't know what we're talking about here. And that could be part of this tower as well, and this like gargoyle. And it's like this now gargoyles are like scary, right? But they're meant to be protectors, right? The university that I went to, they had gargoyles on one of the main buildings, and it's like, kind of to ward away those evil spirits. And like I said earlier, it's like it was coming through. It's like you need some kind of protection. So that's the thing is like this wasn't turning out, and now this person's facing a tower, and it's like they want you to solve it, and you're like, look, again, my Wi-Fi don't work out here on the open seas. Sorry, bro. You know what I mean? Like I'm transporting the saltpeter over here. Okay. Like, what do you want out of me? That's kind of what I'm getting from the collective. Like, you're just not super impressed with this energy because, like, it's like you saw it coming. It's like how they didn't see it coming, exactly. It's like, oh, let me tell you what happened, blah, 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 blah. And it's just like, again, you're like, well, I guess you fell for it. Everybody falls for something at some point in time, but don't be going around bragging to everybody how smart you are, right? And acting like you're better than everybody else, right? Okay, then. Because the, the cards are speaking here, all right? But I'm channeling the energy, okay? So, and just in case anybody that's wondering is watching, I use the cards as a tool. The cards don't use me. Okay? All right, I'm going to pull some Moonology here. Yeah, I just feel like this person wants to have this kind of conversation. It's like they had all this love to give, and it went into... Yeah, I'm hearing a big poo pile, okay, basically. And sometimes people can present themselves as, good or whatever. That doesn't mean we don't see, other things, right? And it's kind of like, oh, well, they have this going for them. Then we give them the benefit of the doubt, right? Like with everything. And it's like, and then it turns out like nothing, like absolutely nothing else they had going for them. It's like, oh boy. And I think that's kind of the pile of dew that your person stepped into, because even what it was supposed to be based on ended up not being much of anything, right? Like, have you ever been in those relationships and you're like, it's all like hot and heavy at the beginning, but it's like, then you can't stand the person. You don't even want to like sleep in the same bed as them. Well, how are you going to do it, right? Like, yeah, that's some Five of Cups energy. You missed the party on that one, right? Yeah, I mean, some people, they end up getting married to people like that, and then the whole, next 10, 15, 20 plus years of their life. So, I mean, if this is happening to you now, or if you're just figuring this out now about this person or whatever, I mean, count your blessings, right? That it didn't take up the next 20 years of your life, or that, like, dare I say, children came out of the situation, right? Mm hmm. Yeah. Because we all know the complications that revolve around that these days. I mean, you have to make it out of the pregnancy alive first, right? Okay. And then you actually have to raise a whole nother human being. Okay. That takes money. That takes resources. It takes people that are caring. Not people who want to lie and present themselves as this and that. And it's just, and it's like the more complicated it gets, you know what I mean? It's like there this person was just eating it up. And it's like, at some point, did you ever sit there and think like, maybe something's not adding up here, right? Maybe this person's in the situation they're in. Exactly, Tower, because they've been ignoring exactly what's been in front of them this whole time. You know? Balance spirituality and practicality. Yeah. It may have been practical to be around this person, right? To transact with this person. That may be what attracted whoever you're dealing with to them. Okay. But the spiritual part was like glaringly absent, right? You know, I mean, people, they are who they are. You know, I think it's after like 25, like your brain kind of stops developing, right? That prefrontal cortex or whatever. Your hard work is paying off. Yeah, this is why you would like to be unbothered here with your Eight of Cups in your heart space. You know, so, this Ace of Cups here, they might have wanted to tell you it's like they want to tell you about all the love that they've been giving this other person. And it's like, well, that's great. Great. I mean, you want me to send you a card of congratulations? It's like they're wanting to impress you with this, but at the same time it's like it's just a reminder of all the ways that they chose not to spend with you, right? And I think that's part of what you're going to communicate to this person, and they're going to see what a big tall order they have, this literal whale here. And it's like, can they fill the shoes, or is this, are they Captain Ahab and you're Moby Dick? I mean, what's it gonna be? You know, are they literally chasing a white whale that they will never, you know what I mean? And maybe it's because this person could be not as resourceful as they think they are, you know? Maybe part of the reason that they were dealing with these people is because they thought they were Mr. Money or Ms. Moneybags, right? And like, I can do whatever I want because I can afford it and nobody can tell me what to do. Nobody else is paying my bills. So I can act as unethically, right? Or as immoral as I want to, right? But again, balance spirituality and practicality, it always catches up, doesn't it? And that's why this tower is coming in now. And again, they're going to be like, oh, I had all this love to give. Yeah. And you're like, and you gave it to the Spider Woman, the kiss of death. Did you not see? You know what I mean? It's like, oh, hey, meet my new girlfriend or boyfriend. They've only been married 4 or 5 times. We're like, really? Um, you know, I know back in like the 60s and 70s, people did that more. Like, it wasn't just dating, it's like you got married. But like now, people don't have to do that. So it's like, what is it for? Again, it's like creating this web. It's these lies. It's this little old tower that's crashing down, quite honestly. And part of it is because your spirit guides, your ancestors have been, using like this gargoyle energy in here, coming and protecting you. That's part of the message in here. So, your hard work is paying off. Keep doing what you're doing, even if you are Eight of Cups scene, you know, out on your pirate ship, not wanting to be bothered. 14:14 on the clock. Make it so. Yeah, and this Five of Cups, this turbulence, I don't feel like you're sad about it. It's like you're the one that's the mermaid out here, you know. Again, they proved that they needed something simpler, right? Something that was more practical for them. And is there anything wrong with that? No. But if it comes with other things, don't be surprised, right? When it turns out the way it does. It's like, oh, well, I had in my vision right? This was the third eye here. When I had my vision, this, but now it's like I'm caught in this web, like she don't really love me like she says, or you know, she says she does, but she doesn't really show it or act like it. You know what I mean? All these little, and then it's all these little like oh, and then they have you busy, right? And then it's like, well, let's keep you busy in your thoughts. And again, whatever that has been tried to do, again, it's like you've been so unreachable emotionally and you're getting so strong that it's falling deaf now. And that's part of, again, why it's crashing. Because it's like their magic spell, their magic, whatever that is, like they think they can work their magic. You ever hear people like, let me go work my magic, right? Well, it ain't working no more. You know, it's not cute anymore. It looks tired and haggard and old. You know what I mean? It's that kind of thing. You know what I mean? There's a reason why people watch some of the people on TV is because they have millions and millions of dollars and they're on TV. When other people do it, it's really not that cute, is it? It's just annoying. Part of the reason why we watch that stuff is because it's like a freak show, right? And then you have other people imitating it, and it's like, yeah, I guess you didn't really understand why we were watching it. Okay. Take time to breathe out. Disseminating moon. Yeah, and there's been people out here corrupting themselves and contorting themselves into like this spider-like energy, ready to pounce, ready to prowl, ready to scare, using the scare tactics. Like, oh, well, you're not going to get any better than me. And like, I mean, and maybe they could be using things against you. Like maybe you have been married before. Maybe you have gone through a lot of relationships and they're like, maybe it's just time for you to start settling down with somebody. You know what I mean? Like kind of making you, like, and look at me. I mean, I'm cute. People will think that, you're really happy with me, right? That kind of thing. And, on your exhale, you're like, is that really what I want? And in fact, once you get away, then you can let out that sigh of relief. And it's like, whew. And then you're like, man, I'm back on the open seas. This feels pretty damn good. Right? Yes, please do like if you are in the chat. I would appreciate it. Help spread the messages around to those who need them. And consider subscribing to the channel. And of course, there is the notification bell if you would like a push notification to be notified of like when I'm going live, when a video has been uploaded, those sorts of things. A fiery climax approaches. Yeah. There's a lot of this kind of busting out energy. Some of that could be the Five of Cups. It's kind of like, especially if for some reason this person has finally figured out, right? Well, I said it was like happening now, right? So when they're figuring out, it's like, oh, it's like that's they're in the wash now, right? And we all know it all comes out in the wash, but you can't jump in there. You still have to just be doing your mermaid thing. Even the mermaid's not going to be getting in there when the sea's all turbulent and stuff. Are you kidding? She don't want to get, knocked up against the rocks or, some stuff that's come off one of these ships or an oar or something in the ocean. And they're like, yeah, okay. Make it make sense, right? So for some of you, this person could be breaking up, right? Wanting to come tell you all about it, right? Look, I had all this love, right? And it's like, okay, but have you gotten yourself right yet? Have you taken a breath out yet? Have you recovered? You know what I mean? Like, I feel like this person is still experiencing re-entry, into a world without this person. And it's like your energy for some reason is something that they're hanging on to. This is, again, a reason why you may need some protection. So I feel like you are, right? But there's things that you can do as well. Staying grounded, meditating, just hydrating, things like that, right? Remaining, nourishing yourself, right? And not having to, empathically or energetically take on these things that they're going through. You know what I mean? You kind of, it's like that love from afar, right? Where it's like, I'm sorry you're going through that right now, you know? And you might have to tell this person, like, maybe you need to, talk to somebody about that. And maybe that person needs to be a professional, not you. You know what I mean? Because, they might be looking to you for some kind of validation where it's like, are you really going to be the unbiased person in this situation? Maybe they need to kind of talk to somebody neutral. Trust your path. If you knew you would be supported, what would you do? Yeah. So it's like they've been looking to you for support, and now it's like, well, what about me? Like, what if I was supported in my endeavors? Like, how far could I go? Right. And I feel like what you've been choosing to do here, especially with this Eight of Cups in your heart space, is supporting yourself, like getting really strong emotionally. So it's just like, yeah, anytime these little wishy washy people and energies come in, it's like, well, I mean, yeah, they said they like me, but so do a lot of people, you know? It just so happens, collective, that you may have liked this one back, right? But that's not going to deter you, okay? And the universe doesn't want you to be deterred either. That's why, again, this mermaid is here on the shore. You can see her sitting on the shore on these rocks, not in the midst of, all of this, these damaging winds and, you know what I mean, things. It's like she's just kind of sitting there almost enjoying it, like it's like playfully splashing her, and that's kind of how you have to look at it. Like, maybe this person or these karmics or whoever, whatever the situationship is, it's like, oh, it's kind of like watching some little toddlers, playing and figuring it out in the sandbox, right? But do you see the mothers in the sandbox? No, they're sitting on the bench, right? Like they had their sandbox time, right? 22:22 on the clock. Double mission, channeling and uplifting humanity. Ladies. Yeah. Typically Pleiades is visible more in the winter months, I believe. Channeling and uplifting humanity, double mission. So yeah, you're looking for somebody to mirror your energy and this love that you have, okay? So yeah, if somebody wants to come and talk to you about it, you're like, yeah, I do have a lot of love, here with this Ace of Cups, and this is how I want to use it. You know what I mean? It's not by packaging it up and putting it on the street corner for the highest bidder. Um, that's not quite what you had in mind. Don't dim to fit in. How are you dimming your light in order to fit in? Bonkers, isn't it? It's like, without the light, would there be the dark? Without the dark, would there be the light? But we have to have light to see, right? It's like this Eight of Cups here, this pirate, he's been guided more like by his heart space. Like he's been using his emotions, his intuition. He's not necessarily being blinded by things that are just visual, right? And might like look good for a minute, and then once you start realizing what else is going on there, you're like, ooh, right? I think a lot now it's like they say giving you the ick, right? It's like if you have that ew moment, protection, y'all. Boom shakalaka, protection. Call back your power. Cut the cord. Soul retrieval. Okay. Cord cutting is a thing that some people do, right? For protection. Okay. How can you mother yourself? Yeah. Your mother is not going to say, go out and run in the street. So don't be reckless with your heart, right? And, you know, this take time to breathe out, like, collective, you could have been getting out of something as well. Like, what's so funny about these readings is like the other person is always coming out so strong, so strong, so strong. And I got to tell you about this, and I got to tell you about that. And it's like, well, what about what the collective has been going through, right? You know, what about the collective's dating experience, right? Okay. That's why you've been, you know, building yourself up emotionally, right? Ready to communicate to the right person, you know, this Ace of Cups here, you know, your wants and needs. And, you know, for some people, they'll be like, oh, snap. Yeah, I can't do that. Tower, right? It's not going to be like, you know, you know, and maybe you're somebody that's like, hey, my boyfriend's buy me Louis Vuitton. If you can't buy me Louis Vuitton, you're not gonna be my boyfriend or my man or whatever, or vice versa. Maybe you're like that. I mean, whatever it is, it's one of these things where this, you know, that's the most literal, you know, thing I can think of here. That's the kind of thing where this person's gonna be like, oh, and this gargoyle here is for protection again. This protection energy. All right. So if this person isn't providing you some kind of level of protection, not only just in your regular life, but also from these external energies and these karmics and these situations, and you know, or they just like walking into it like, hey, I'm back. And here you are again, like, oh my God. Like, didn't we talk about this? You know? Like collective, you've understood like how to make your distance here. And that's again part of this Three of Wands. So some of you might be protecting yourself by not physically being around this person or persons or whatever the situation is. Okay. Yeah. I am going to go ahead and pull from this messages deck that I have. All right. See if we can get anything else today. I mean, we will. I mean, obviously, we'll be pulling something that I also, you know, use the messages and downloads I receive to explain these cards to you. Okay, this is, you know, but as always, you have to use your own discernment. Okay. So, you know, if the message doesn't resonate with you today, don't sweat it. It's just not your message. It could be happening to somebody around you in your energy. You might be a very empathic person, okay? And again, that's kind of this Five of Cups here. All right. And you could have water in your chart, but you could be like, look, people know I'm understanding, but like right now I need to sit this one out and like chill while they work out their struggles, right? It's kind of like that. Okay? You know, it's like yeah, I don't mind listening to my friends, and you know, if they need a ear or a shoulder to cry on, but like is it every day? Right? You're like, and then at the same time, who's helping the collective here, right? Where's your protection? Where's your support? Okay, so again, I feel like this person that you're dealing with could have been also dealing with a similar type energy, except it showed up and manifested in these types of lies. Okay, where this person thought they had to keep something up based upon a lie. Wow, marry me. Yeah, this somebody is not fooling around. They would definitely like to be closer to you, especially if you are in separation right now. I heard aim and a miss. So obviously, whoever this person took aim with, it didn't work out. And now they're back and they're saying, you know, like they don't know what else to offer you to let you know that they're serious, right? Why are you so selfish? This could have been the person that you were dealing with, the person that was like, you know, demanding these, all these things. Okay. maybe this is the person that's like, hey, I have to have my Louis Vuitton. My other boyfriend's buying Louis Vuitton. And you're like, look, I don't do that. And they're like, well, you know what I mean? But like they're not letting you go at the same time. It's like, well, if I'm not good enough for you, then why aren't you leaving? Go find what you want. Like, why are you, that's, oh, again, it's like, why these, this energy always comes back through and it's always all about them, right? But it's like, well, what is the collective getting out of this? So, in that sense, who was the selfish one, right? And like, they want to come back and like cry on your shoulder about it. And yeah. And if this person even thought remotely that you were selfish, but yet they want to like say marry me and stuff, it's like, it's like, is this the kind of person that like when they get angry, all of a sudden they turn on a dime and they turn into a different person? You know what I mean? Like, you don't want to deal with that. I'm looking for a teammate. Yeah. So this Ace of Cups here that you have, collective, I feel like it's saying like, yeah, you're like, look, I can do this for the right person, right? But again, you got to be a pretty big fish. You're this giant whale to catch me because I'm not fooling around, right? Maybe you're like, I can buy my own Louis Vuitton, okay? So again, if you ain't the big fish, go fish. And then again, don't be so selfish. Leave some for everybody else. It's, like I can tell you that a friend I had one time, and it was like, she already had a boyfriend, but like she liked this guy, and she liked that guy. But she had a boyfriend, and she liked that guy. And it's like, she was always picking out all these, and it's kind of like, as their friend, you're like, okay, well, I don't want to like try and hit on or talk to that guy. But it's like, but she liked everybody. It's like, well, who does that leave for everybody else? You can't have everybody. It doesn't work that way. And the people that want to be had by everybody, well, I think they have careers in porn and stuff. You know what I mean? Okay? Like, that's the kind of drama you're after, then yowza. And that's why a lot of times, these karmics, then people end up, having diseases and restraining orders. You're so sexy to me. Now, this person thinks you are like the bomb, right? They also maybe kind of trying to love bomb you a little bit. Again, you say like, oh, I should have done this with you and that with you. And, it's like, beware of the people who, if they call it future faking, right? Like, oh, you and I can do this together, and you and I can do this together, and you and I can do this. But like, they never show up, or they never actually call you to make those plans, or they never actually invite you over to their house. It's like, well, maybe they just, and it's like, don't take it personally. It's like they just want somebody to say that to, like, just to see how it sounds, or like to see if somebody would take the bait, kind of thing. But they don't really mean it, right? So it's like they're gonna pour energy into you, but not really, right? It always comes up short somehow. Will your friends and family accept me? I don't know, collective. This person seems pretty serious here. Can we get away together? Yeah, they want some alone time with you. Maybe it's, to hash out some of this stuff. You know what I mean? Like, it's not something you want to start talking about at 10 p.m. at night, right? That song, It's Too Late Tonight to, I think it's a Rod Stewart song. Anyway, that might be significant for you. Yeah, so this was kind of interesting. I really wasn't sure what was going to come out today. Please do like the video or subscribe to the channel. It helps pass the messages around. And until next time, please manifest wisely. Bye bye.